Everything that you've touched can be a problem.
This must be the combination. The two experts. Nee. Ignition signal. Oh, my back. Oh, I'm old. Right, the engine is back together thanks to the powerful magic of editing. Now let's start it up and see if it works. Fingers crossed, guys. The engine has been apart and I've done things to it, so well, let's just hope for the best. Well, that failed completely. Been a week since I did the timing belt change, and unfortunately still no success. I just can't seem to figure out what I did wrong or what went wrong. Next Saturday I'm going to rent a trailer and go to my 480 club, which very conveniently has organized a day to go tinkering with each other. Well, there we are. For the third time in its life, the Volvo needs to go on a transporter. Right, there we go. Oh my god, this is scary. I don't know how much this cable can take. I'm got no drive in the car, so I'm well protected. Well, it took some effort, but it's on. There we go, guys. Let's hope and pray. Well, we've arrived. Let's get Frankenstein back to life. This is what I call driving. Ik kan niet multitasken. Wat moet ik doen? Wat moet ik doen?
Hij moet schuin staan, net op deze.
Oh, zo schuin! De kont op het gras.
Ja, niet de andere kant.
Oh, die andere kant. Oké, sorry.
Mee dan, want wat heb je nou allemaal gedaan?
Right, so we've got someone who has twice the intelligence
Oh yeah,
as I have.
do English.
It has to be in English, of course, for the channel.
Oh, that's all.
What? What about the coffee?
So, it's gonna be something that you did wrong.
It's gotta be.
Before. Everything that you've touched can be a problem.
Yes, but even things that I haven't touched can be a problem.
True, but have you touched any
Everything.
Electrical cables, connectors?
Yes, yes. Well, I already checked this one because it was a little bit wonky.
Yep.
But yeah, of course I tried to get this belt of the alternator, and then I had to put this to the side.
Yeah, because you've pulled this apart like 5 times already now?
Yeah. Well, obviously all of this has been gone, so I've taken all of this off. This has been loose.
There's no seal.
There's never been a seal on it.
Okay, there should be a seal.
Okay.
I
didn't know.
I think there should be a seal. Wait, let me check.
It's never been like that. So this is why we got these people who know a little bit more about those engines than I do. Look at that, guys. What a lovely color. I love this car. It's also a 2 liter and it has some power. Unlike this one.
Just start it up for me so I can check.
Oké. Dat gebeurt ook wel eens. Yeah, I don't like his head. I don't like your head.
I still think it's a timing issue. Ja, dat is waar. Dus we moeten.
Yeah, so now we've got the complete team.
Zet hem anders ook even binnen neer, want anders heb ik geen. Anders is het de weg
Figuring out
dan zie je de lamp niet.
my fuck up.
Ja, maar we kunnen wel even af.
Possibly. In the meantime, we can enjoy this car. It's a Volvo V40 with a nice body kit and all of these magnificent cars that do run. Maybe I can just steal this engine, put it in there. It only costs like 5 minutes, right? This is cool.
Waarschijnlijk is de timing versprongen of zo, of zit hij verkeerd op. Helemaal niks.
So far we think we've figured out, or he has, at least.
Oh no, we're not there yet.
That the timing is not entirely correct.
When it's firing at cylinder 1, it's almost a centimeter
Off.
before the actual place it should be, but I'm not sure that the ignition should be advanced or not advanced at all.
So yeah, Ramon is now checking the timing belt or redoing it himself because he's done this many times. I've also done it many times, but maybe many times wrong.
You've done it wrong many times.
We don't know yet. So I'm going to leave him to it. I'm just going to enjoy the other cars. Right, so right now it's 5 o'clock in the afternoon. We've been working on it all afternoon. We've got no further. Now we're thinking that it's gets too much fuel, so we want to disconnect this fuel system that's over there, the computer, replace it for another one of the working 480s, and see if that maybe solves the case. Right, so we're now at the point that we've checked almost everything. We've checked the computer, that was okay. We swapped it for another one, it didn't help. Now we're in the process of just firing shots at removing sensors and replacing them. Right now we're removing the throttle body to see if that helps. There's a sensor below the throttle body that sometimes can get dirty. And so far I just started it and it seemed to run a little bit, but only like 250 revs. It was basically nothing, but it did sound a little bit better than it did before, so yeah, everybody's getting a little bit tired of this car. So I don't want to ask too much of the guys. We're going to have a barbecue in a minute, so yeah, let's enjoy that first. Enjoying my bread.
Ga je nu bij kijken?
Ja, ik heb ervaring met stappen. Ja, zal zeg maar nu stoppen.
Doe maar! Ik denk... Dat is een very good idea. Wel fans. Misschien heb je ervan gemaakt. Wat ruik jij?
Fik!
Alsof
Vuurwerk!
iemand met een rotje heeft afgestoken.
Ja, vuurwerk!
Oeh ja!
What the fuck?
Ruikt wel lekker.
Olie, denk ik. Hij zou het nu moeten doen als het aan brandstof lag.
Ja, daarom is het
Dus het is onzeker, we gaan even vreten.
This must be the combination. The two experts. Nee. Well guys, it's now 9:05 in the evening. Sadly, nothing we did works. We've replaced all kinds of sensors, all kinds of things, switched it out with things that we were sure that were working. We're now checking the car's own diagnostics to see if maybe the car knows something itself, but yes, I'm afraid we lost hope for today a little bit. Everything seems to be alright and still the engine is not working. We know it was completely flooded with fuel, but that was just because of all the starts. I think we're going to call it a day. The Saab is way over there with the trailer. We're going to put it on the trailer again, tow it home. Yeah. And then the Saab wouldn't start because I left the light on. Because there's traffic on this road. We wanted to load the Volvo. Now the battery is gone. There we go. Kun je een beetje toeren geven, Rutger? Nee. Nee. Yes! Woohoo! Well guys, as you've seen, this was not really successful. Well, in the end we did check a lot of stuff, so we know a little bit more. But yesterday we worked for 11 hours straight. We only had a break to eat something. We were absolutely knackered at the end of the day and I had to drive home, get the trailer back to the garage, and well, I didn't get a lot of sleep last night. Obviously we're going to investigate more. We will find out what the problem was. Morning everybody, welcome back to Front Seat. I can't believe it's been 3 weeks or 3.5 weeks already that this car has last run. Yeah, so we did a lot of work to it and you know why it stopped. Well, we don't know why it stopped. I've been working on it for the last few weeks and well, I've got this box of new parts. As you can see, probably I've already replaced some bits, done some diagnostics and some testing, and well, everything so far seems good. So that's nice, but I'm still a little bit worried about some sensors and some wiring, so that's what I'm going to check out next. Yeah, I know it's not how you're supposed to do this, but... Oh, oops. Yeah, so as it turned out, it's very rainy today in the Netherlands, again, so yeah, oops. Okay, so I've taken all the spark plugs out, I've watched inside with an endoscope, with a borescope. I bought a new one. which could turn around so I could see the valves, which look fine. I've replaced some wiring, all the grounding points are good. This sensor I've got new in the box inside. We looked at the injectors, which turned out to be fine. On the inside I looked at that computer, I looked at that computer, which I have to plug in by the way. I've looked at the fuel pump, it primes, it does its job. As far as I know, we've looked at the fuses and the relays over there and those fuses over there. I've changed all these relays that are over here. I'm spending almost 2 hours a day on this car and so far no success. I've rechecked the valve clearance. Well, I've done the timing belt like 30 times now, so it must be okay. It also lines up perfectly with the camshaft and the crankshaft and everything, so I would be very surprised if that is still the problem. We've got some new sensors inside, so let's fit them and see what happens. Okay. Did I forget to connect something? Everything seems to be connected. There's a new sensor that I always forget. Yeah, I think everything is connected. Well, let's hope and pray that my green Frankenstein monster comes back to life. I really hope so. Well, that didn't work. And that weird sound again. If anyone has an idea what that could be, I mean, it is interesting for the channel, but I just want to drive this car. So let's get on to a new phase of checking all the wiring. Well everybody, we are now nearing the 4th week in which this car is not running. So far everything I've tried hasn't worked. So this Saturday a guy called Remco is coming here. He's going to help me figure out this problem. He says he could maybe solve it within an hour. So I have very high hopes. And there's more good news because I've bought this is going here because this one is all fogged up. And this is very exciting because these are fog lights. I didn't have them before on this car, they're not fitted. So I've bought 2 of them. They don't seem to be in a very good shape, but they're here. This is also a little bit broken. I don't really care, I will fix it. And a bumper that can actually fit these fog lights. What I also need to do very badly is do an oil change because this oil now is completely spoiled with fuel because of all the start attempts, and fuel will get into the cylinders and into the oil, and now it's very contaminated, so I really need to change the oil. Well, as it turns out, I need to fix this light. I didn't know that before, but now I do. So yeah, let's go. This may be a bit hard to see, but there are some broken clips here, it seems. This connection here is completely destroyed, so I'm afraid I'll need to drill it out, but that's very hard. Yeah, it's the same here, it's just the bolts seem to be just sheared off. This will at least make it a little bit easier to drill a hole. Right, so with a number of smaller and bigger drills, I managed to drill one very small hole. And once you've got that very small hole, it's easier to make it bigger. So these have to fit in here. And I can use this Parker screw to put it in there. Yeah, so this is... yeah. Well, this little joke cost me more than an hour, but I've got now 4 holes and these screws fit in there. So I'm going to absolutely drench them in copper grease and get the fog lights in. Well, it seems it's in. Right, as it turned out, this brown wire was retracted a little bit, so let's see if it works now. Yay, it works! Nice! And there it is. There's a little piece missing here that I didn't know before, but I can fix that. First, let's put a temperature sensor in. Okay. Yeah, we're getting there. This doesn't align at all. Oh, it does. Okay then. That looks so much better. I know the lights don't work yet, and that one is broken. And oh yeah, this is also broken. But I will fix that in the future. And there's primer and red paint all over here. But besides that, wow, this car looks so much more finished now. Yeah, I'm really happy, and now the engine has to run. Alright, but that's for Saturday. Well guys, it's now Saturday, and we are joined today by Remco, who's driven all the way from Friesland to here, an hour drive, to hopefully fix my car. Remco has a lot of experience. He's worked at over hundreds of cars, and he thinks he can save my car, and I'm going to leave him to it because I will not get in his way. Oh. So beforehand, Remco said to me, well, don't get mad at me if I can fix your car within a few minutes. Well, it's been 15 minutes and I think he's found it. We think he's found it, or at least he thinks he's found it. So you can see the flywheel right over there. So on the flywheel you can see the ignition moment, and there are some tooth are missing on the flywheel. That's supposed to be like that. And well, if you check this point, and if you then check the point of the camshaft, they don't line up. Probably be the reason why the engine is running so badly. So we've timed the cam belt and now it should start, so let's try. Well, so far it didn't work, so we're going to investigate a little bit further. So apparently the timing issue was not the only issue, so we're checking now if the fuel is coming out nicely. Well, we worked all day. It's now 4 o'clock, we're going to stop. As it turned out, the timing was correct before. We changed it a little bit, fiddled with it, and it didn't help. Remco found out that the fuel pressure was not okay. So I've ordered a new fuel pump. Hopefully that can solve the problem, but it's not in yet, obviously. So we'll have to wait for that. I'm going to fit it and yeah, try again. Right, so it is now Tuesday. I'm waiting for the delivery truck, which will arrive shortly. So what I want to do now is prepare the car for its new fuel pump. Fuel pump assembly is here. So I want to take out this power supply, take off these two hoses, there are 2 of them. And then I want to take this whole assembly out. Then I'm going to put my mask on, because these fuel vapors are not too good for your health. So let's take it out. Oh, fuel everywhere. Yeah, making a mess. Right, so this is the fuel pump assembly. There are 2 clips over here which supply the pump with power. Gonna take that out. Most important thing to remember is there's a black one and a brown one. Now if you reconnect this the wrong way up, the pump will pump backwards, probably. I'm not really sure, but it won't be good. So the black one is on the side of these connectors here, and the brown one is on the other side. 1 off, 2 off. Now we can take off these little clips here. So we should now be able to retract the original pump from its housing. Being a little bit careful. So there's a clip here. Put it to the side a little bit. So we can now take off this hose. So this goes on top, this goes on the bottom. It's to make sure that the pump doesn't rattle around in its housing. And speaking of rattling, I don't think it's meant to do that. Luckily for me, the new pump also comes with a new filter. This is not the original pump, this is a Volvo, and the vehicle was delivered with another pump, I'm pretty sure. And there we have it. It was the cheapest one I could find. Because as you know, I'm not really sure if this solves the problem. I really hope so. It doesn't really say anything about the amount of pressure it will give, but okay. Do not tear. How are we supposed to open it? Where's the filter? There should be a filter in there. Right. Right, I'm actually feeling a little bit tense now. I don't know. that obviously it didn't work. From a friend I got this injector rail, including the power supply. We're just going to try if this works. So let's put it to the car and start it up. Well guys, we're nearing the 6 weeks mark. So it's been 6 weeks since I worked on this car and I did rent for the last time. And finally yesterday I've got a lead. So I noticed yesterday that the car was running on 2 cylinders. It was running for a little while, like 40 seconds, but only on 2 cylinders. So I'll put a clip of it on my phone in this video. And I noticed that when I touched the exhaust manifold, only cylinder 3 and 4 were running. And I checked it with my new borescope light, and that was the case indeed. After a while, suddenly only cylinder 1 was firing, so the car didn't run at all. And then we noticed that the spark plugs have a very weak spark, if any at all. That gives me the impression that either the signal from the ECU is wrong, or the wiring is bad, or the coil is bad, because I don't think it has to do with the dizzy and the rotor. Okay, although nothing has worked so far over the last 6 weeks, I'm still keeping hope sometimes. But I'm getting the feeling that we're getting a little bit closer to the solution, well, because we know that the spark plugs aren't firing. So we have to figure out why. Well, assuming that the coil is good, we can't really assume it, but well, I've tested 3 coils now. One of which I'm sure was running before, one of which is new, and one of which is my own one, which I bought new last February, so that's 6 months. Although they have a too high resistance, all of them, I think there must be something else. I'm now performing the test at the Haynes states. Connect the voltmeter between terminal A, and that's this one. So that's the positive lead. The brown one is a negative, and the minus of the battery. And if I start the car, it should be at least 9.5 volts. So I'm going to check that. As you've seen, that is about 10.5 volts, so that's okay. Assuming that the positive lead works, we can continue to step 2. Now we can switch to ohms. Okay, there's continuity, that's nice. That should be the case while the ignition is off. Now we have to switch to terminal B. There is continuity. Sorry for the noise. I will get this out. Sorry for the noise. So there is continuity. And check that the resistance is 0. If the resistance is higher, check the security of the earth connection. Yeah, so there is a little bit of resistance. Oh, 0 ohms. Okay, it was just because my terminal was a bit rusty. Yeah, I think we can probably assume that the earth connection is connection is good as well. Ignition signal. Oh, my back. Oh, I'm old. What's this? 0.5 ohms. 0.4 ohms. Okay, so it is not 0. It is 0.4 ohms. I'm not really sure if that's okay. Well, it's close to 0, but I'm not sure if that's a problem, but we're just going to continue. So the next step is to connect an LED light, which I have just invented myself. It's rubbish, but it works, I think. Between this plug, which is the signal plug from the ECU, to the ground. So I'm going to start the engine, and then this should start flashing. Well, that didn't flash at all. Maybe it's not really well connected, but it does work, because if I... Oh. Well, it broke. Oh, for God's sake. It worked a minute ago. Okay, new attempt. Yeah, so I think that's exactly what we were looking for. I'm just going to rewatch the footage. Next step is to connect a light between these 2 terminals on the computer. Start the engine and see if this flashes. If it flashes, it's good. Well, as you've seen, it flashes. I don't know if you can see it, by the way, but it did flash. Not very brightly, but it did flash. So that tells me that this thing works. So there's one more thing I'm going to test today, and that is I've now hooked up the coil, but instead of running the power from the ECU and the ground, I've run it directly to the battery, so that the coil now has, well, at least 12 volts, maybe 13 even. And I've connected the signal wire, and maybe it will work now. Probably not, but we'll see. No. Well, everybody, sad news. I've made a decision, and this car is going to a real mechanic. It's been over 6 weeks now, and for the last 6 weeks I've been trying to mend it, and I've had a lot of help from people. My neighbor, people from the Volvo community. So I want to thank everybody for all their help, especially Raymond, Rutger, my neighbor Jan, Remco, who has worked on the car with me here, and a lot of other people who also helped. But I can't figure it out. I'm just not good enough a mechanic to do this. So I will prepare the car for the mechanic, including well, making life easier for him. I will make a list of things that I've already done, so that he doesn't have to do it again. Well guys, the weirdest thing just happened. These are the spark plugs that are currently in my car. I decided to do just one more startup with the spark plugs out of the car, and then it occurred to me that some of the spark plugs that I didn't think were firing were just arcing out on the engine itself. So, and then I saw one of the spark plugs was just smoking. That means it's burning this coal residue. So I looked up these very old spark plugs that were originally in the car. Then I started up the car again, and they were all firing. I wasn't really confident about the amount of spark that they gave. It should be a nice blue flash, but it was a bit yellowish. Alright. I've done everything I could. Let's put it on the trailer. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we are on our way. For the third time that I'm having this car, it's on the trailer. I'm not liking it at all, but there we go. We're on the way to the mechanic. From this moment it's out of my hands. Too bad, but yeah, I gotta do what I gotta do, and I cannot do any more than this. Well, and this is its place for now. So I think this concludes this episode. When I hear more, you'll hear it too. Thank you very much for watching, and see you again next time. Bye bye.